Facebook is trying to play with me today. Excuse me. So again, we were on step 2 of this process of answering the question, what is it that you really want? And we were talking about beliefs. We were talking about living and existing in the future, living and existing in the realm of what's possible, as opposed to living in the problems. Okay, you see the distinction. So when you look at what's going wrong, when you look at the problems of your marriage, you are looking at what's right in front of you right now, or you're looking over your shoulder at all of the baggage and resentment and issues and discussions and tension and arguments and disagreements you've had in the past, right? But when you set your beliefs in the future, anything's possible, right? Like anything could happen. You could all of a sudden get those emotions back and fall in love with your husband. He could feel the same way about you. You could finally figure out a way to work through some of the things that have been keeping you guys stuck. But the way that you get there, right? The way you get there in the future is by focusing on the future and existing in possibility, and existing in the space where God can move a mountain in an instant, right? But you've got to first believe that that is possible. And so that is step 2 of this whole uncovering and determining what vision you have for your marriage. Like, where are you headed? If you need a reset, you need a reset to what? Where are you going? What is it you are creating, right? I want to hone that message in on you because it is so vitally important to getting unstuck. It's so important to be able to work through your issues and not give up. You have to know where you're going, right? I think of the time when I ran a half marathon. I am not a runner at all. Let's just be really honest about that. But I could run that race because I knew where I was headed. I knew that when I reached 13.2 miles, like I had achieved success. What does success look like for you? Where is your success, right? When you know where you're headed, you can get through, you can endure, right? You can work through whatever may be confronting you now because you know it's not the end of your story. And so if you are a believer, if you know that God brought you and your husband together, then your end is already guaranteed to be victorious. You already have success. You just have to define what that is for yourself and go get it. And part of that process is setting your faith on specific beliefs that empower you, that give you hope, right? So that's step number 2 of this process that we're going over today, right? And then step number 3 is, let me take one step back. Actually, this is a really important point. So when you have a certain set of beliefs, you act in a certain way, right? If you believe that your husband doesn't value you, if you believe that your husband doesn't make time for you, that you're not important to him, then what are you going to do? There's a certain set of actions that you do when you believe that. You might complain, you might criticize, you might not make yourself available to him because he's not going to be around anyway, right? There are things you do based on the beliefs you hold. But when you believe that your husband adores you, that your marriage is happy and thriving, that you can communicate well, that you spend time together, that you are working together as a team, that you have each other's best interests at heart, how are you going to show up in that belief system? How are you going to show up as that person, as that wife, as that husband that believes that reality about your marriage? And so that's why your beliefs are so powerful, because they guide. Your beliefs are sort of like the GPS for your actions, right? When you believe you are headed to your vision of your marriage, which we just went over, then you take the steps that are going to get you there, right? If you're setting your GPS on Washington, D.C., you're going to follow the road and follow the steps and align your actions to go to Washington, D.C. and not San Diego, California, right? So your beliefs are critically important. Identify 5 beliefs. I want you to write down 5 beliefs that put you in a place of possibility for an amazing future in your marriage. And then align your actions with those beliefs, okay? The third step that we are going to go over today is what I call gratitude in advance, right? If you grew up in the church or if you're a believer, you hear this all the time, right? Lord, I thank you in advance for X, Y, and Z. Gratitude is one of those things that is sort of like a magnet for what you want, because again, it puts your mindset in the place of possibility. It puts you into belief that what you're asking for, what you're desiring, is actually available to you. And when you do that in advance, it puts you in this space of actually positioning yourself to receive it. And so a lot of times we get so down in the dumps when our marriage is not going well. We think that we are relegated to our current reality, that things aren't going to get better, that there's no light at the end of the tunnel, that the only option we have is to leave or to be miserable or something that is not productive and healthy for us, right? But if you enter into a space of recognizing where you are, right? Recognizing the reality that's in front of you, but being grateful that it's not going to be your final destination. Being grateful that the vision we outlined in step 1 is actually possible and available to you because you believe it and your actions are aligned with that, then you can thank God in advance for it being your reality because it's on the way. The check is in the mail, right? That Amazon delivery is on its way to you, right? So when you think about anything you order, right, especially from Amazon, because they're so reliable these days, I'm not getting paid for it, but it's just the truth. You place your order and like, you know it's coming. And 9 times out of 10, it actually comes sooner than you even expect. And so I want you to position yourself, position your mind to believe the same for your marriage, that whatever you identified in that step 1, which was the visualization of what you want based on what you want in communication, what you want in quality time, what you want in emotional support, what you want in a spiritual alignment, what you want in collaboration and teamwork and intimacy and affection, you painted that picture. And by believing in it, you've sent your order in. And now, plan for it. Be grateful in advance that it's coming your way. Be grateful in advance that it's yours to have as long as you keep moving in the direction of it. Okay? So that is what I have for you on day 1 of this marriage reboot. If your marriage is in any way not ideal for you right now, if there are things that have been weighing on you and burdening you and your spouse and the way that you're interacting with each other, if there's distance, if there's discord, if there's division, if there's unhappiness, right? This reboot, this reset can help you get unstuck and move forward. And I offer these insights to you because I know that they work, right? When I work with my clients, we spend a lot of time going through this. And so I offer it to you as a preview of what you can begin to do in your own life, right? And so again, the theme of today's, which is day 1, is what is it that you want? What do you really, really want? And these are the 3 ways you can figure it out, right? Number 1 is you've got to get a vision for what you want. And I outlined those 7 things, the 7 specific areas I want you to look at and create a vision for what will be in your marriage. Number 2 is your beliefs. What are the beliefs you are going to set your faith on, set your mind on? And then number 3 is gratitude in advance. You call it into existence by saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you that my husband speaks to me with love. Thank you that we are able to spend as much time together as we would like. Thank you that we feel connected and supported and loved by each other. Those are the things you want, right? And so again, I just want to call your attention to a free guide I have for you over these next 3 days. It is called the Marriage Reset Guide. In it, I walk you through the exact process that I use with my private clients to reset and reboot their marriages. And I know that it will be so, so helpful to you. The only thing I want you to do is to promise me you will actually use it and not download it and let it sit in your email inbox. You have to apply what you are learning. And I hope that you do that. Okay, so this is day 1 of the 3-day marriage reset. I will be back with you tomorrow for day 2. Okay, and day 2, we are going to be talking about releasing resentment. Resentment and unforgiveness and hardened hearts is one of the most damaging things to a marriage. You know that. I don't have to tell you. You feel it, you carry it, it's weighing you down, and you don't know how to get rid of it, right? You don't know how to get rid of it. You don't know how to let the things go that need to be let go. Tomorrow, we are going to do a deep dive into that topic, and I hope that it will set you free and put your marriage in position to get all the things that you just visualized today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, make sure you get that free guide. It's at my website, berelatable.com/marriage reset. It is the link that is included with this video, so be sure to download it. All right? I'll be back with you tomorrow. Good night.